Hi, I'm J.R. Niles, the author of Internet Dating. This is part 2 of my reading segment. I am going to begin by reading chapter 1 of Internet Dating. First of all, I'm going to show the cover and the email address where you can send inquiries. This is the actual cover of my book. It was approved by myself just this morning. We finally got it right, so I guess I won't have to drive out to Indiana to act a fool. Anyway, JRNE 606, that's 606 at AOL.com. If you want to send me an email, shoot me an email for inquiries about the exact date as to when the book will be available and where it is available. Chapter 1 of Internet Dating by J.R. Niles. As angry as Lance is at the moment, his meticulous tendencies, even now, supersedes the rage that he feels as he packs the long rectangular white box with its original contents and more. A one-handed grab is... I wrote this right. Okay. A one-handed grab and one trip to the car is all he wants to do. Surprisingly, he is able to secure the box shut just enough to pull the cute little handle up through the perforated slot. As he storms out the house and towards the red compact car, he scoffs in disgust and has a thought. What a shitty car. It's a rental, and being a Friday evening after work, an hour before they closed, he pretty much got stuck with it. Lance knows a car is better than no car, but he still hates it, especially considering what he has to do in it tomorrow. He hopes he can trade it in for something else in the morning, since all the affiliated car rental locations he called on the way home from work got him no results. The destination of Lance's first errand this evening is to drop the stupid white box off, which is about 15 minutes away. When he arrives, he grabs the box from the back seat like an animal. As he storms to the residential front door, he is glad to not see a certain woman's car parked out front. Then suddenly he realizes that her dad, or maybe some neighbors, might be looking out the window. Lance has been working on his anger thing as of late. One thing he has learned from self-help books he has recently read is to be more in control of his reactions to the emotions of anger. So he changes his walk in mid-stride and approaches the front door with a calm demeanor. A calm demeanor he doesn't want, but a calm demeanor all the same. Lance murmurs under his breath, "Does the fucking doorbell work?" After another excruciating 15 seconds, the door squeaks open. "Oh, hi, Lance. How are you?" "How are you, Mr. Strong? Would you please give this to Melanie? It belongs to her." "Oh, sure, not a problem. Say, Melanie should be back shortly if you want to come in and have a seat and wait for her." "No, Mr. Strong, that's okay, but thanks." In Lance's world of make-believe, the moment the door opened, he would have yelled to Mr. Strong, "Look out!" and slammed the long white box straight through the screen part of the door. Lance tries to visit that world in his mind once more when he is behind the wheel of his rent-a-car again, but he can't seem to pull it off. He thinks to himself, the engine is too loud and the car is too slow for the engine to be this loud. 30 minutes later, Lance arrives at his favorite destination for CDs and DVDs. After he parks, he just sits there. He reaches for his cell phone but hesitates to pull it out the holster. He starts thinking about the woman that he will eventually call. Her name is Sherry. He met her on the internet about 2 weeks ago. When Lance first came across her picture, he was mesmerized by her pretty face and her small frame. He couldn't believe she actually resides in Illinois and not in another state like a lot of the other women he had seen on the internet he liked. He thinks of how ironic it was that he had only been on that particular dating site for a 3-day trial period. To be meeting someone desirable and so soon is very rare. The initial email read, the initial email to her read, "Wow. Hello, Elishur 36. I am speechless right now. I will send you a better email tomorrow. For now, just wanted to say hello to you and tell you that you look like a very special person. And I don't mean your looks either. Your beauty is obvious to me, but it's a quiet beauty that I see. It's kind of wholesome to me, and I like that. Hope to touch bases with you soon, Lance. To his surprise, Sherry responded the next day. She was very articulate in her texts, just as Lance suspected she would be. She also paid him a compliment on his appearance. The overall email seemed very encouraging. Because of her quick response, he answered her email later that same day. Idle chit-chat ensued, where he's from, the fact that he has no children, etc. The latter of the two was something that they both had in common, with Lance being 39 years old and Sherry being 36. The aspect of no children, in Lance's opinion, was something to grab a tight hold of and run down the street with, screaming for joy. Lance's third email included his phone number, and Sherry's response included hers. On a Sunday afternoon, they exchanged the sound of one another's voice for the very first time. Being born and raised in Boston, Massachusetts was the reason for her slight accent. The pace in her speech was a bit rapid for his ears, but she was definitely a very intelligent woman. She even used a word or two in their conversation that he didn't quite know the meaning of. To Lance, this was a good sign. They talked about love and life and the dating scene. She told Lance about some guy she was seeing and that she was crazy about. Her purpose for being on the dating site was to date only, more or less just weighing her options. Lance appreciated her honesty, so he didn't hold that against her. Their conversation was cut short when she received another call. "Let me call you back," is what Lance expected to hear, an irritating phrase people often use when there are other line clicks on their call waiting. To his surprise, Sherry didn't say that phrase. She said, "Lance, may I call you back?" And not only that, she did call him back. This was another brownie point for the new girl who resides in Skokie, Illinois. After just a second conversation, Lance asked Sherry out, and she says yes. Within 10 minutes of their first verbal exchange, she pretty much confirmed what he assumed about her just from looking at her picture. Sherry was a good old-fashioned girl next door that he absolutely wanted to meet. As Lance sits in the parking lot, he decides to call Sherry after he finishes his cigarette. Then he contemplates waiting 10 additional minutes after he comes out of the audio-video store. The two conversations they previously had were lengthy enough, yet seemed slightly strained. He wonders if it was shyness on his part, or if it was something else. He calls her after the cigarette. "Hi, Sherry, how are you? This is Lance." "Oh, hi, Lance, I'm fine. How are you?" "I'm okay. It's Friday, you know what I mean." "Say, are we still on for tomorrow?" "Oh, you know what? I was wondering if we could reschedule that. I have something to do." There is an empty space of silence in the telephone that seems to last an eternity. "That's understandable," he says, "but I did explain my car situation to you, and I told you I was going to rent a car the weekend we were going to meet up. I'm sitting in the rent-a-car right now." "Ah, I forgot about that. I would really hate that you went through so much trouble for nothing. Let me see what I can do to move some things around that I have to do tomorrow. But don't worry, we'll meet up." "Okay, I'll give you a call tomorrow around noon or so to see what's going on, and we can get a definite time together," he says with relief. Lance appreciates how thoughtful and polite Sherry is. It is refreshing and, in some ways, well overdue for him. Without going into the audio-video store, he pulls out of the parking lot to head home. Lance is so anxious to get a different vehicle before his date that he wakes up at 6:15 a.m., well before the rent-a-car place is even open. He listens to a variety of voicemail recordings to several of their facilities' weekend hours, most of them being from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. After an intense 45 minutes, a live voice finally picks up on the other end. For the next 4 hours, on and off, the search continues for an available car, but with no luck. Sherry won't even care about the kind of car Lance is driving, and he knows this. It's the guy thing with cars that makes him determined to find something else. A nice car, a cool car, a fast car. He calls Sherry at 20 afternoon. They agree, apprehensively on his part, to meet at the mall in Skokie at 4 o'clock. This seems more like a blind date to Lance. The time, too early. The place, too lame. And mall food is, of course, mall food. But because it's in her area, he agrees. This is what being a gentleman is all about, and he prides himself in being just that. He gets his reward for this when he finally finds another vehicle. If he can get to it before the rent-a-car place closes. Lance does arrive in time, normally being a fast driver anyway. He gets a brand new 2007 black sports car with a better sound system and one of those new age automatic stiff shifts with an S gear. The S stands for Super Turbo. And Lance had to pull to the side of the road and grab the car's manual from the glove compartment to figure that out. He now wonders if he will seriously be considering getting one of these exact vehicles next month in late May. His original plan was to get a Cadillac, the vehicle he did extensive research on a few months ago. This vehicle, he thinks to himself, wow, not bad. Lance gets to hit 90 miles per hour on the highway on his way to Skokie before he runs into a construction zone traffic jam. However, his level of joy is so high right now, along with the volume on his music, that nothing can deter his mood. He arrives in the mall parking lot and immediately notices the difference in the people. Besides from a lot of them being Caucasian, their mannerism, the pleasant looks on their faces, kind of reminds him of the la-di-da, nonchalant factor. The earth is such a beautiful place to live in, and the mall is beautiful too. I cannot wait to blindingly spend a whole lot of money in these wonderful stores. Lance thinks out loud, I hope this girl isn't like these people. He cautiously approaches a store entrance with the nervous anticipation of meeting this lovely woman. As he works his way to the outside area, he checks his watch. It's a few minutes after 4. He looks around and doesn't see anyone that resembles Sherry. Did I come in through the right entrance? He murmurs. Lance calls her. Hi, Sherry. I'm here. Where are you? Did you come in through the mall's main entrance? No, I forgot. I came in through a department store entrance, but I'm outside now. Are you near here? Yes. Which way are you from here, left or right? Left, she says. My left or yours? I don't know. Hee hee hee. Hey, do you have on a light green striped shirt? Lance can hear the accent and how it stands out when she says the word shirt. Yes, I do, he says. And you are to my left, and yours too. We're facing different ways. Hee hee hee. Lance admires her cute and innocent little giggle from the very reason, well, let me say that again. Lance admires her cute and innocent little giggle for the very reason of what it is. Cute and innocent. He turns to his left and immediately sees her. Still nervous, he approaches her, smiles, and gives her a 1-second hug and a light kiss on her left cheek. Hi, it's really nice to meet you, Sherry Anderson. Same here, Lance, Austin. Are you ready to eat? I'm starved. Yes, me too. And that will conclude reading session part 2 of chapter 1. I'm going to split up the chapters, 2 readings per chapter, and there will be a total of 3 chapters available, just to hopefully whet your appetite for my story. 26 chapters in all for the novel, and I guess that's about it for now, so I will holler soon.